2 years of decent. Bro, did you hear the Fetty Wap thing on Joe Budden? They just said what happened was that they used that kid up. That's what they said. They just used him. That record label took him.
Wasn't it a record label that he kind of originated?
No. The Remy Boys are just a group. RGF,
RGF Productions. I feel like that's not a really well-known label. But before we get into it, I know you're very eager, and we shall get there, my friends. Let me. How the fuck do you say it? Hola.
Bienvenido a mi podcast.
I don't think there's an ami in it. Either way, I am your host, Jabari, and this is my. You're not really. The Dominican friend, Devonte, and we are going to be taking this Spanish on a
at one point, my
magnifico experience.
My grandmother told me a story about my paternal biological grandfather. She said, I guess he was a Puerto Rican or Mexican. She said, I don't know. We didn't ask back then. I was like, okay,
grandma. Damn. One sec.
We in a quarantine at a party?
Okay, we back. We had some technical difficulties here, but shit is working out. I don't know. Like, I guess the shit must have updated because I don't know. Okay, fuck it. Let's introduce the podcast real quick because we are at a standstill. This is the Bullshit for Your Health podcast, episode 33, and I kind of have an opening song that I want to try, and it is something that I found last night while I was just alone. Yeah, and it was like 5 a.m. I'd already been listening to a couple different more R&B mellow albums, so I just kind of went on an indie playlist because I've been into trying to figure out if I like the Gorillaz, like actually like them, or just like the 4 songs I know by them.
You like Clint Eastwood?
I like Clint Eastwood. I like Dirty Harry. I like Feel Good and Melancholy Hill. I haven't really found much more else. I was trying to get through their first 2 albums, and it was very difficult. But while I was doing that, I was on Apple Music's, new music page, and Charli XCX put out an album, and I feel like I've seen that name before on music I've listened to, so I said, fuck it, let me take an experience. And I couldn't tell if I fucked with this song or not, so I wanted you to listen to it and tell me if you fuck with it or not. Because it's EDM-ish, it's pop-ish, but it's like, I don't know. But at one point, I was like bobbing my head. I couldn't tell if it was sleep deprivation or not. But here it is. Charli XCX off Pink Diamond off her album, How I'm Feeling Now. Again, it was like 4 a.m. when I listened to this shit. I was like, bro, what the fuck? I just wanna go real hard. I just wanna go real hard. Pink diamond in the dark. I just wanna go real hard. 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 Pink diamond in the dark. I just wanna go real hard. I just wanna go real hard. I just wanna go real hard. Lip gloss on and I'm looking like a star. Got a tiny bag, but I've got a big heart on the video track. Houston and a bra. I'm pretty so fine, kinda feeling like a star. Gonna give me good deeds. Watch me whip it up. I'm really so rare. I'm sent from above. Wish you could come round, pick me up in your car. Yeah, I just wanna go real hard. I just wanna go real hard. Pink diamond in the dark. I just wanna go real hard. Like, I feel like if I was in the room, I would have encouraged her to like loop some of the like more basic parts more right here.
Oh, real hard.
Pink Diamond. Like, instead of coming to this kind of bridge, like I would have like got parts of the Yeah, so that is her intro song off the album, and I think it rolls into like the second song called Forever, which is more of like a steady, like just a do 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 do, and it's like the shit was very catchy to me at that hour.
Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So it goes into this shit. Like, and I feel like I kind of like the songs are kind of like similar or not like connected or whatever. But no. So I was just very interested. It caught my attention. I feel like a lot of the albums that I was just randomly clicking on didn't really snag my ear. How do you find new music at times when you're just trying to find like new shit? I know you said because Katora was actually trying to siphon Spotify onto me because she told me how you got her into it because when you hear a new song and
it generates on radio,
you don't have anything, it generates a new song that's in the likeness of that song. Is that how you find most of your music?
Yeah, and then like you gotta think like a lot of my friendships are based like a lot of friendships I have are like big music based friendships. So it's like even with like every friend I have loves music to an extent. So like they always send me music. Like at one point, bro, people were sending me so much music. It was like, oh my gosh, I can't. There's no way I can digest everything.
So does it always tend to be like credible music lover shit, or do you get a lot of the same shit? Like, do you have somebody sending you like ambassadors, and then somebody sending you SZA, and then somebody
like,
sending
Katora she listens to a lot of like pop and like EDM, so she'll send me stuff like that. I have a girlfriend who likes R&B, typical.
I mean, yeah. So yeah.
You get that. So like, but like even before I had a girlfriend, it would be like my friend Matt Taylor would send me like he'd be like, "Yo, so and so just dropped this," and just send me because he has Spotify too, so he would send me the link. Or then like Nate would send me a bunch of. Nate always sends me stuff.
Yeah,
like,
I feel like
you remember when we went to Brockhampton? Some stuff Nate sends, I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna listen to it.
Oh yeah, because it was just straight.
Lo-fi.
It was just straight lo-fi bebop music. It wasn't really lo-fi either because some of it was mad aggressive. It's just, but it sounded like 90s hip hop.
Yeah, and then he'll get into his little jazz section where he goes with Herbie Hancock for fucking 40 minutes.
Herbie Hancock, wasn't that a fucking movie? Okay.
No, Herbie Hancock's no. I know you're thinking of Herbie the love thing, the car.
Yeah, when Lindsay Lohan wasn't on crack cocaine.
Yeah, but no, Herbie Hancock's this like famous jazz musician that his brother put him onto, and so we just listened to that.
Herbie Hancock.
Like it's something you would like, bro.
I need to get. I don't know. Like I feel like
jazz.
If I listen to jazz right now, it would have to it's more classic jazz. Like at the most. Because people hate him in the jazz world, Kenny G, but like I would gravitate more to a well-known name than something I completely don't know, unless I was out like at like a bar listening to it. Or
Kenny
whatever.
G is interesting.
Niggas don't like him.
Well, it depends on who you ask. Cause like me and you don't, we're novices in that world.
No, I'm talking about like when I was like in like
jazz man,
high school, whatever, and you were learning more and more about it, and you're talking to more.
What's their issue with Kenny?
I think it's just because niggas don't like mainstream people. Like they think you sold out, or you think you're not.
So are they telling us not to like Miles Davis?
No, not in a sense. I wouldn't even say it like you can compare the two because the eras that the two niggas like performed in was completely different, and they would say Miles Davis originated a lot of different styles and sounds, where Kenny G being a white man and not being the best soprano saxophonist.
He plays clarinet too.
Yeah, he plays most times when you're an instrumentalist and you get to that stage, you play one instrument, more than one instrument, very proficiently. You know what I'm saying? If so a lot of them are masters in one and then very proficient in others. Like even my point at my largest band scale, like I was good, very good at my main instrument, which is also saxophone, but I could play tenor sax, I could play clarinet, and I could even play baritone a little bit.
What made you pick sax?
I didn't pick sax. It was my seventh grade. I was moving to Hawaii, and when I got there, they were like, "Yo, you have to do either chorus or band," and I was like, "I guess band. I'm not gonna do chorus, right?" And so when we got to band class first day, the dude made us try to make a sound out of different mouthpieces for different instruments. One being a trumpet, So he had drumsticks, a trumpet mouthpiece, and a reed with a mouthpiece on it. And basically, he told you to try to blow on it and make a sound. Now, it's misleading because if you don't know that you're supposed to put your mouth in a certain way they call it like an aperture, you know what I'm saying? To make sounds come out of a different instrument mouthpiece, you're not going to be able to do it. So I was just fucking like blowing on the goddamn trumpet mouthpiece. I wanted to play trumpet, but I couldn't make any of the buzzing sound.
I know what sound you're talking about. Because it's almost like a duck. Like a duck call.
Yeah, it's called an aperture, and you basically purse your lips and you just blow, and that's how you make the sound out of the trumpet. You know what I'm saying? And then for a woodwind instrument, you wrap your lower lip around your gums, and then you're not really supposed to put your teeth on the top of it, but some people do. Whatever. I don't know. I'm not an instrument.
Messes up the reed.
No, not. You never put your teeth on the reed, but even like the top of the mouthpiece, you don't really put your teeth on. But some people do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then you blow and make a sound there, and depending on the harshness or the clarity of the buzz and sound, the tone you get it can be indicative, I guess, if you'll have some talent playing that. And I guess the band instructor I had was very neurotic. Like a lot of the band instructors I've had have been very pointed teachers in my memory. Like I remember them because they're very bright personality people, you know.
Yeah,
so
we had this one redhead named Miss Flaherty, and she used to sell.
She sounds awesome.
No, we stole snacks from her. She used to sell like Powerades and chips.
Oh, so she was a benevolent teacher, and you guys were assholes, and you stole.
She's a really nice.
You sound like me when I was in pre-calc, and we got our fucking teacher fired.
She was a really
greatest memory ever.
She was a really nice lady. And like when you're 14, crazy. You're just trying to fit in. And like as I get older, I was just making that lady's job a living hell.
Yeah, yeah. I hope you remember that shit. It's like when your parents, you were a completely and utter like asshole to your parents, and your parents were like, I can't wait for you to have a kid. And then when your parents is like, your kid's bad, and your parents like,
you get everything you gave out. You get what you dished.
Yeah, but so I couldn't make a sound out of the trumpet, so I played the alto sax.
And this was in King George?
No, this is in Hawaii, Aliamanu Middle School.
You did a year in Hawaii in middle school?
I didn't do a year. I did half a year.
And what, it was 6th grade?
It was 7th grade.
You did half a year and then you came back.
Mm-hmm.
You said in 6th grade you moved to King George.
No, in the 4th grade I moved to King George. So how my story went was I spent a lot of my formative years in Hawaii, Pearl Harbor area. Moved to King George, Virginia in the 4th grade because my dad got stationed out here. My dad got put back on deployment and like was stationed back in Hawaii, and then would like take like deployments across the world in submarine. So then at the time, my mom was like, we had already spent what 5, 6, like 3 or 4 years there. Like you know when you're like 4th grade, you're what 9, 10. Mm-hmm. You're starting to make like friends that you like.
Starting to be, your social skills are starting to show.
Yeah. So like at this point, like I'm now remembering my life, like remembering it, you know what I'm saying? And that sounds terrible. I remember my life before the 4th grade.
But it's like you're starting to make
more distinctive memories and becoming the person or having personality traits that I'll carry on with throughout my life. As you were saying, developmentally, it's a
good social skills and stuff. So she brought you back.
She brought us back because when we got out to Hawaii, I missed my friends. You know, I missed my nigga Jeremy. I tell you about that's when 4th grade I met him. And like we were talking on the phone and shit, but I was still adjusting. Like I'm always been good at meeting. I've always had good interpersonal skills. So in Hawaii, I wasn't not thriving socially. Like I had made new friends by this kid named Morgan.
One of the biggest pieces was education.
That was the only piece. That she told us about us. I don't know maritally what was going on
about the kids. It was
but it was peace because socially, again, like I had this friend named Mario who was this Hispanic nigga. I had this other kid named Morgan who was
kids
Malaysian.
The parents are also in the military.
Yeah, like I was having a good time. You know what I'm saying? School was the only problem. Like they had year-round school. It'd be like every 3 weeks you get like a half. So every Wednesday was a half day. Every 3 weeks you get like a week off, and then you had like actually some longer breaks. Bro, I'm telling you, school started at like 9. Like I'm saying, I didn't have an alarm clock. When nigga would just wake up, like the nigga going, "Yo, bro, ready to go to school?" "Oh, yeah, brush your teeth. Yeah, let's get it. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, it was awesome. We had 2 recesses. You had recess in the morning and then recess like at the end of school.
So when you also
The only class I was doing well in was history because they taught you Hawaiian history. So it was something new. I was like, oh, this is fucking cool.
So when you got to...
Dude, I had like Fs.
Oh, no, but I'm saying when you came back to King George, you decided you still wanted to play in the band.
Yeah. So it was that 7th grade came back. They just kept me in band because I think there was still a stipulation that you had to do one of the two. You know what I'm saying? Like you had to do something. It was like band. I don't think the theater was a thing yet. It was something artistic, like we count the arts. Could have been art. It could have been art. And I was like, I
did band.
Yes, I did band. So and then band became a thing. Like I went on to be in the band to my senior year. I just didn't continue in college because it wasn't what I was trying to do career-wise. Like, by that point, if you were trying to do marching band and band in college, you were probably also doing something, like, at least for my school, like, doing something, music-related in the field, and I was not at that point. Like, I was like, nah, bro, I want to go do something in healthcare and make money. Like, I'm ready to, like, live.
Or it's like your diehard hobby.
And also, too, my whole situation in band changed junior year when I was the drum major of my band, and in senior year we changed band directors, and the band director and I butted heads, and I quit. I just quit. I didn't do it senior year.
Yeah, Kevin was in the band.
Who's Kevin?
Kevin used to be in our apartment.
Who?
Alex's ex.
Yeah. Okay.
I was just thinking because I remember he talked to me about it.
Yeah, the nigga was
interesting.
We don't gotta,
Well, no, I just remember him telling me he was in JMU. He was a part of the Royal Beach.
Oh yeah, he was a part of JMU's band. Them cats used to get wild. Like it's so interesting, like because the culture of like the outcast culture, how a lot of times people, like all types of outcast culture, skateboarding, band, BMX, or like try to say extreme sports, festival culture, like underground hip hop culture. It's like when you really dig deep into like the personalities of the people who are in them, like they would all get along with each other because it's all outcast culture. You know what I'm saying? Like really like elitist culture comes down to like the activities that are done by a lot of times you got to be blessed with the grace of God to be good at them, or even to be like equatable in America type, like to play football at a high level. Like you have to be a certain size, a certain just innate speed to play basketball. My nigga, if you're not over 6 foot, like the chances really
they decrease.
Yeah. To be a entertainer, like if you're not blessed with vocal capabilities,
certain charisma.
Yeah. Like something like it's again what we said. Like you can't take you can take whatever you will about like rap annals and hip hop from Drake, but you cannot take that he was built to be a star. Like nobody can do what he does. Like it takes a talent to be like that level of fame without slipping. You know what I'm saying? And for so long, and like
it takes a certain level to just want to endure that.
No, bro, not just want to, but the capability, like to go and be in the spotlight for 10 years at the highest of the game, dodging this, dodging that, maybe other issues.
I would say even Rihanna doesn't do what he does.
No, Rihanna, bro. Once Rihanna found out that she didn't need to make music to be as lauded, as rich, and as fucking comfortable as she wanted to be, she stopped making it. You think it's any surprise Rihanna hasn't put out an album in 4 years? Dude, she's comfortable, bro. Like it's like
Fenty is doing fine.
She dropped the classic album, so she's already proved herself. And Fenty is making her enough money where she's like, I'm not worried that a pandemic's happening. I'm still going to donate mad amounts of money to protect certain people. Let me figure out what the fuck I want to do, bro. Like, because is Rihanna an immigrant?
Barbados is not.
It's a territory?
I don't believe it's an American territory.
Is Rihanna an immigrant? Or is she born in the United States?
No, she was born in Barbados. Because, some people, they're from Barbados, but they was born in New Jersey or some stuff like that.
Hold up real quick. Yeah. Yeah, she's an immigrant. Yeah,
She
so of
lives in
course,
London.
bro. So of course, you think she's gonna get here and be like on this same or like on this same weird like she Rihanna's perspective is dope.
Yeah.
I fuck with everything she's doing.
She recently just moved to London a few years ago, so she's
But shit. All right, so it's 20 minutes. We're 20 minutes in. We've been bullshitting for a while. I don't even know what the fuck we're talking about other than band, fucking musicians, my shit. But yeah, man, let's get into a topic to start off with because we were talking about different mindsets and how it can allow people to thrive in different areas. Let's talk about an individual who's piqued your interest with their mindset and how they view the world for the last few days now.
Dr. Umar Johnson.
In certain perspectives, yes, Dr. Umar Johnson.
Oh, when you mentioned that, I was also thinking of something else.
What'd you think?
Cause that Jordan documentary where like Jordan started like, bro, this.
I mean, I haven't seen it.
Bro, watch, bro. This man, not to Dr. Umar Johnson is not in the cat in the stratosphere of Michael Jordan, but no, this no. So in the documentary, they showed him pushing his teammates, and he was just like, so like he was calling this one guy a hoe the whole practice because he wanted to see how tough the dude was. So he was like, yeah, you a hoe, and just kept calling him a hoe and seeing, and then he eventually was like, oh, you a bitch, and the dude just wouldn't get mad, and then like he went up to another teammate and like was like roughing him and like giving him like doing a lot of different fouls and stuff. So he was like, oh, you calling cheap fouls to the head coach? So then he punches the guy in the face and was like, call this foul. And then he got surprised because the guy punched him back. And he was like, well, at least I knew he had some heart when he punched me back. I was like, yo. And he was like, I push my teammates because I hate losing. He's like, I'm a winner. He said, show me he's like, people will be like, oh, you're a tyrant. That's because they're not used to winning. He said, so I got to push people to that level. And he was like, that's how I play basketball. He got all emotional and started crying.
Wait, Jordan did?
Yeah, bro. He was just talking about how like much he pushed people and how much he loved winning. And he wanted to see his team.
Like he regretted? Like he was crying? Like that brought him, like that memory brought him
joy.
Knowing
that he like made, because he was like, because he's like, I made people tougher. I made people better basketball players. And it's kind of like he just took pride in that.
Yeah, it's his ego. It's his ego stroking his dick right now.
Like, yeah, he's. I mean, but then like it was a great take of someone that good at something. Like, it touches a lot on his like faults.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like if you're so like anybody who has a sole obsession with one different thing lacks in other areas. No human being's perfect. You can't be that good and that focused on basketball, and then also be like probably the number one dad in the world. You know?
He liked the gamble. Jesus Christ, they always talk about the
Yeah.
gambling.
I mean,
everybody we're all entitled to one vice.
We're all entitled to more than one vice. You're entitled to do whatever the fuck you want to do as long as it's not harming anybody else. Now, I would say, if you want to live the full amount of years you're guaranteed on this planet, you might not want to indulge too much.
I'll tell you one thing. Jordan don't look good. His eyes got jaundice in it in this documentary. Because me and my cousin was talking about it. And I was like, Jordan might got, he tried to act, well, I'm not a drinker.
Yeah, I saw the clips where they were saying the cocaine 80s, the cocaine 80s.
I
He was saying he really touched that shit. Niggas, come on, bro.
I got Jordan having some drinks, bro. Because them eyes don't get jaundice from, unless he got bad, or is it jaundice is from liver? It's your liver. It's your liver. So unless he got liver issues from another diagnosis.
This nigga has NASH, and we know it's not.
Jordan, and then in the documentary, he got a cold. He got a glass, and it's dark. And I'm like, I don't think that's no Pepsi Cola.
Yeah. Either way, like not the only thing, but one of the things that interests me most about thinking about the Jordan situation, I've been reading a manga called Vinland Saga, and right now it's dealing a lot with PTSD, war, and how aggression, how men, like what's the role of a man and like aggression and being a man, you know, like what it means, what it does to a person. I just think like You guys gotta imagine like how Jordan feels about like basketball. Through times in history, there's been men who feel that way about like power and like conquering and like just building their own name in the annals of history, like similar to a Kanye West, where Kanye West has said, or not Kanye West, but Sci-Hi the Prince, when talking about Kanye West and what their goal is,
The goal's more to be remembered.
it's to be in the next Bible. Sci-Hi the Prince literally said, "You see the Sistine Chapel? You know who fucking drew the Sistine Chapel? In the next century or two, when our civilization is gone and dusted, you know what I want them to say? Yo, Sci-Hi the Prince, Kanye West, boom. Those were the two, whatever. That they did the Sistine Chapel."
So my question is, do you think Michael Jordan will be remembered like that?
For as long as our society remains intact as it is, if sports remains a driving force in the majority of individuals' lives, yeah, he's immortalized. But the second our society is gone and dusted, it's not. And that's the kind of like so to go back into like the manga, like that's the type of thing like it touches on is we as human beings strive so hard. And actually, the book, remember the book we both read, Solid Again, Giving a Fuck. They call it legacy projects.
Mm-hmm.
We strive so hard to be remembered by achieving these great things in life that we think are going to keep us remembered in the annals of history forever. But in reality, everybody is always forgotten. You know. Now, the question then some would ask is, then what's the point of doing everything? Well, doing anything. But again, it's like, well, it's not look at the void and become existential, but it's realize that the void is just that, the void. So do what you want to do, or do what's going to mean more to you in real life. So like with the Michael Jordan thing, it's like, yes, dog, like be that beast, be that animal that allows you to achieve whatever, but do it in a simple. And I'm not speaking on Michael's situation personally, because I don't know his family life. I know he left the woman he was with in the Space Jam quote unquote movie, and
he's moved on,
and he's went to like other races and shit. So what I would say is, I would question like, yo, are you really happy in your decisions in that? You know, was it truly that? Cool. If it is, cool. If it's not, if you like got absorbed in your desire and hunger for winning, and just like somebody who has vices with gambling and wants more, you know, prostitution and women and cocaine all go together, was it something like that? You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, maybe you should look at it more of like a Kobe, where it's like Kobe Bryant was that same animal to try and, you know, push his teammates and get to a point and be that asshole and focus solely on a thing to get to a certain point. But he also like had a wife and beautiful children that he cherished, and once his journey in basketball was over, was able to fill himself and be whole, because he also knew there was more.
They said like with that daughter wanting to play like basketball, that became his like new, like Kobe's an interesting guy. They said like becoming a family man became their new obsession. So like if she wanted to do that, he wanted to do that. The other daughter wanted to do something. He's like, like I want to focus on what they want to do.
Yeah, but I hesitate to call it an obsession, because I would call the basketball thing an obsession.
Oh, you call it an obsession?
Yeah, but I would hesitate to call it an obsession only in the sense that, in the argument I'm making, is spending all your time with your daughter, which some could call a legacy project, the same as spending all your time focusing on a sport that is going to leave you in the minds of people who truthfully 85% of their day, they're not thinking about you.
Yeah, I would also say like that's an interesting perspective to have. Like also like to me, basketball really can't love you back as much as your child, but to them it gave them something like to, you know.
It gave them something while they were doing it, but don't you see it in a lot of athletes? I heard or saw a report about this. When they leave the sport, even when it's just like,
depressed.
Yeah, you've done it to the collegiate level. You don't know what to do anymore because you've solely focused on one thing. And that's really should never be your reality. You should always have things that are parts of you that make you whole, but not solely focus on one thing to the point when you lose it, it's gone. It's just like when people like put everything in their all into their spouse. I'm saying everything in their all, and then their spouse dies, and then they can't function anymore. Or you see a lot of times, with older couples, their spouse dies, and like a year later, they're dead.
Or like you put everything into your career, and then you retire.
The fucking coronavirus happens, and your job cuts you loose.
Or like, all right, I worked as a nurse for 40 years, but I never did anything else, so I don't know what else there's. Like, I'm confused. Like,
I wouldn't say that. I would say I worked as a nurse for 40 years in this floor, and I've never done anything else. Because just in the essence of nursing, there's so many things you can do, my nigga. You don't even have to work as a nurse, nigga. Like, you could go work in government as a nurse.
Yeah, but it's like, imagine just doing any job. You've done that same job. Like, I worked at the same Kroger for 30 years. I retired. Now I'm like, what else is there to life? It's like when you did, like, you.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree to that because that's more stationary. That's more like, but that also goes into the conversation we were talking about last time about traveling and stuff intrinsically. And I was like, imagine people who say, "Yo, I wonder what Amsterdam. I saw Amsterdam, that Eurotrip movie. I wonder what Amsterdam's like." And then for the next 4 years, never go to Amsterdam.
Yeah, I think when you put, like, sometimes, like you just say, you can't put everything in anything. You can't put everything into your career. You can't put everything. Like, you kind of have this intersectionality is a great way you spread yourself out.
Life's this little thing, like little sprinkled baskets. You put your eggs all in each different one. You don't fucking put all of them in one. But back to the Kobe thing. But at the same time, you probably can't get to become
that good with
Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant or
there's something in your brain that
Kanye West without having that obsession that is at the end of the day maybe not the best for your mental. But
Kobe said, I told you in the Muse documentary, he told his wife, I'm not going to be a good husband right now. I'm not going to be a good father. Mm-hmm. This is my obsession. And the way he described it, she kind of said, I will hold this down while you go chase that part of your brain. Mm-hmm. That needs to be done. And I think at 20 years, he said, I want to still, like he said, the work ethic's still there, the brain's still there. He said, after doing it for 20 years, that went away. The body went away.
Yeah.
But it was time. He said it was time to say. I think for a lot of players too, and a lot of athletes, it's hard to say goodbye.
Yeah.
The difference is, you can be a doctor, but a lot of times, like, you're working to be a doctor a lot of your life. But I think, like, that work ethic, like, to do sports like that, some of those people have been working since they were 4 years old and just dribbling the ball. So I think even when you get to like 35 and you say goodbye to it, it's crazy. And it's a shorter period they get.
I would say too, the difference between like if you're going to school to be a doctor and you're trying from a young age to be the next LeBron James, it's something like my going to medical school is going to take up 90% of my life. But every 10%, that 10%, every chance I get to do something else, I'm looking to do something else. Like, I'm not looking to study just for, even if I enjoy this shit, during medical school, during nursing school, I'm not studying my shit for fun, right? I'm just not. When you are striving to be the next LeBron James, your every eat, sleep, waking moment is that. It's not just, I'm training every day or I'm getting on the court. It's, I'm watching basketball. I'm playing 2K. I'm hanging out with all my bros from the team and we're talking about ball. You know what I'm saying? Like those type of niggas too. Like
it's what you said. So I think one guy said something like and then like it was one athlete said the difference is he said you can be a lawyer and be a lawyer till you're 65. Mm-hmm. He was like, my gap to be this, it's short. It's short. So
would you say it doesn't go hand in hand that if you play that you also want to coach once you get done?
No, because some people are a heck of a player but can't coach because coaching takes a lot of more like strategy and then like there's more to coach because there's some guys that are just average ball players but because they sat on the bench and they learn coaching, they're phenomenal coaches. But but some guys like they thrive off of natural athleticism and they thrive off of just like think about it. Do you think you could can every nurse be a teacher?
No.
Be an instructor. Same concept. I think teaching
shit every nurse should be a nurse.
No. But I think teaching is something that's more because you're teaching basketball. So I think there's like it's a part of just being able to be a teacher.
Shit, I think about it now, and it's like I don't think I would ever go into education, like nursing education.
It's not for everybody
Mm-hmm.
because
it's a reputable skill. You're right.
Yeah, and then like being because
it takes a lot of patience.
It takes a lot of patience, and it allows you to enter a different avenue of something you love, and it kind of can keep you around sometimes when like stuff happens. So like the body for every one of us will give out, but if you can keep the mind sharp, like there are people that they stop being nurses sometimes because they can't be on their feet all the time. So they may go into education, or they may
yeah
something
yeah. Stops. That's why people. That's one of the main reasons why I want to go higher in education. So once I get to a point where I'm not trying to have 4 rooms, but then I'm also watching other rooms and having to run around and stick needles and then hold down combative patients and have to
because you said
400-pound people
this will you're cognitive, the body's going to get
yeah. But also too, like to get back to my point, I think also maybe the people who are able to transition to be one thing to the other, ball player to manager or to coach, nurse to educator, they aren't looking at it as this is my end all be all goal legacy project is to be the best nurse, the best, because whenever I look at it, like my goal, I'm not going into the office. Well, I do have my ego and I want to hit every stick. I don't want anybody to help me with my shit. I don't go in there like I'm not going to ask for help. I don't go in there. I'm the smartest one in the room and I'm the best nurse in the world. And what I say goes. And I think that's what makes me such a good provider in a sense, but also has the ability to go off and do other things. I'm not looking at it as a legacy project. I'm not looking at it as like something that I have to do to the utmost ability so that I'm remembered and that will make me complete.
But a guy like Jordan, he got to go in there and be the best dude. They said that a guy scored 37 points on him as a fluke. This guy, LeBradford Smith. Mm. And so Jordan, to get himself psyched up for the next game, made up a story that the guy said, "Hey, nice game, Mike," like as being sarcastic, trying to say he played better than Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan made the story up in his head and made himself believe it happened so he could go and score 36 against the guy in the first half of the basketball game. Do you know what type of psychopath you have to be to make up a story, believe the story, so you can go and dog this human being? Yeah. It did nothing to you.
Yeah, but at this point, I think...
Imagine you going into work thinking the doctor was like, "Hey, Jabari, you'll get the stick next time." So you go in the next day and like, "I'm going to get every stick every time." That's a different...
Well, no, I do think that, but that's not the same thing. I agree with what you're saying. I just don't think that, like to me, it just interests me, that mindset. Because I put it in the mindset of another person with different power. Like, again, I'm not trying to go wild out the fuck. No, let's not say that. Let's not use real wars that are close to us, like the Romans, and like their way that they fucking went and conquered so much of the fucking world, like Julius Caesar and all that shit. Like what it took for a man to believe like you are endowed with the rights and will and power to just keep hitting at anything. Like what would Jordan do if his drive wasn't basketball, but his drive was to be the president? Like, what would Jordan do if his drive was to shit? It's just
bro. So then the doc touches on that when he left to go play baseball. He damn near made the major leagues at 31 years old because he became obsessive of becoming a major league baseball player. And the only reason that he didn't make it was because there was a strike. And then he got, like, during the MLB strike, he couldn't work. So he got bored. And he called a teammate. Was like, "Can we get breakfast?" The teammate was like, "Why don't you come to practice and just shoot around?" And so then he shot around and got a feel for basketball again. And then next thing you know, he's playing back in the league. So it was like, and then they lost the playoff game. And so the trainer speaking in the documentary was like, "Yeah, Mike usually takes 3 to 4 weeks off after the season, no matter what." And then because he felt so embarrassed by the playoff loss after he returned to basketball, the guy was like, just, you got my number, let me know when you want to start training." And he said, "Oh, I'll see you tomorrow." Bro, Magic Johnson was so obsessed with Larry Bird, they lost the game. Magic Johnson ran the bleachers. Like, after the game, was like, oh, gotta get ready. Like, that's a good one to watch, like, their obsession with each other.
Yeah,
Sports is crazy. I think it takes a certain level to get there.
it's just legacy projects, aggression, and testosterone. I don't know if I would call it. Yeah, I would definitely call it base hormone testosterone because I think that's what gives aggression. But at the end of the day, it's just like, is it the healthiest way to live? You know, and each individual has to ask themselves that before they aspire to be Jordan. Because at the end of the day, it's like, yes, being lauded and having aspiration to be the best is something that you should always strive to have, in my opinion. It's going to take you far. But having the what's the word? It's not naive, but having the knowing,
the understanding
having the understanding that it is okay to be just okay.
Yeah.
Because most people are.
And the real question is,
and most people are, and everyone is in something in their life.
Are you willing to, and like Jordan and like LeBron and a Kobe, and a lot of questions they would say, are you willing to make those sacrifices to be the best? Like, and I think a lot of people aren't willing to, like you said, not eat a certain way, freaking not.
Bro, it's not even like that, like, because like I feel like we're strictly like talking about it in the positive aspects that Jordan did to get to where he is. Like, yeah, having a diet, yeah, working out, yeah, but I'm talking about the things he's probably missed, the birthdays.
To the negative, like I said, are people willing to make sacrifices of being, like you said, a shitty husband at times, a shitty father, sometimes not.
Maybe not even getting married. Yeah, maybe not even having kids. Maybe
not being the nicest guy. So like, imagine like you're known as to your coworkers because your teammates are your coworkers. Oh, he's an asshole.
Got a better one. Not knowing shit about shit. Yeah, nigga, you know shit about basketball, but do you know what's going on with the fucking election? Do you know what's going on with the world? Like, you might be a nigga to come out on the screen and say something dumb about like LeBron and the Chinese government and what they were.
Do some of these guys know what grade their kids are in when they become that obsessive?
Can some of these guys do their kids' homework? Is what I'm saying. Like, what I'm saying is, like, when you focus so hardly on one sole thing, it's hard to be good at others as well.
You're giving up something.
It's what we say about college athletes when they're clearly good enough to go to the league straight off the bat, and they're forced to do like a year in school. What the fuck are they doing in that year? Nigga, I'm going to the league.
I'm walking to class and I'm eating this free
food. It's not to say that these gentlemen or these individuals who do focus on sports aren't intelligent. I'm not saying that at all. But to know shit about shit, you have to be learned. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so it's just that if you focus solely on one thing and you don't give a fuck about anything else, is that okay? And you might not know you're not okay with that until it's too late. Until you're in the argument or you're in the interview and someone asks you some shit and you're like, wait, what's going on with what? There's a pandemic. Like, what is a flu? Like, what is a pandemic? You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of different things.
This is a lot.
And I feel like we're talking a lot in the extreme of the legacy drive, where it's a person going over hard. But there is the opposite side where you just don't give a fuck about fuck and don't try to be anything. We don't even need to get there.
Yeah, but it's so crazy because like because I like one of my favorite hobbies, I'll say, like, is sports documentaries, and you'll get the ones where they'll be like, yo, this kid had every natural gift. And like what you said, gave zero. Like, came in, hey, did you learn to play with? And the issue is, I think sometimes giving these guys money, they lose the drive. Especially guys that like were getting, think about how you were just getting by in high school, just your natural intelligence. Imagine you've gotten all the way through college, high school ball, just your God-given gift, and then you get to where everyone has God-given gifts. You got to try, but now you've made all this money. You're like, why try? I'm already rich. You don't care about earning the second contract. So what the NFL has done now, specifically, is they pay you so low during the first contract. It kind of forces some of these guys to reach their full potential so they can get the big payout in the second.
Yeah, that's kind of nasty though when it's the corporation paying you less money so that they can get the best out of you. When really, truthfully, with what you're saying, like, I'm not even talking that either, because that, again, to me, is somebody making a conscious decision to not make the legacy play because it's like, bro, like, I'm good now. I make money. I don't care about being written in the Hall of Fame, because at the end of the day, what the fuck is the Hall of Fame? You know what I'm saying? It's like, when I'm 70, is anybody, if I'm not like the best of the best when I'm 70, is anybody gonna remember who the fuck I am?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm saying the opposite side of the individual who didn't give a shit about shit and ended up shooting two fucking motherfuckers in the goddamn Florida area because you got into an argument over like somebody saying something about your shoes. And Hernandez. But
did you finish that?
I finished like half of it. That shit was starting to get dark. I was like, ugh. But truthfully though, I'm like, I just am always interested in the psychology of individuals who are able to do things like that. But he's cool, dope man. Did a lot of cool stuff. Hope he's happy. Speaking of other individuals who are seeking a different perspective on life, you have been interested in a man named Dr. Umar Johnson.
Dude, he's just so funny.
Extremist. But no, actually, let's not even describe him, because I don't know which degrees are real, which degrees are fake. Let's just play a couple of excerpts from the text message you have to show our visitors.
This is an African people's only live stream. This is an African people's only.
That's our. That's the title of our episode.
This is an African only live stream, bro.
Play some other shit from him.
Oh man, I don't have any saved. Bruh.
Am I vegan? I'm vegan on the weekends.
He says anything, bro.
Phil, why do I have white folks on it?
Here goes.
Why are there white folks trolling my way? Why are there white folks?
Is he on Instagram Live?
Why are there white folks trolling my life? I don't understand. What are you doing here? This is an African people's only live stream.
Here's the full one.
This is an African people's only live stream. This is an African people's only.
Damn, nigga, you want to keep repeating it?
No, he gotta let you whiteys know, bro.
So wait. Nigga, you gotta talk. You on the pod still, nigga.
Bro, I know, but I was just entertained by my fellow brother of African descent.
Oh, so you believe that nigga?
Bro, now I believe I think
You
everybody.
believe that snake oil salesman?
I think.
I mean,
it's my perspective. I think bro got some positive things to say. Keyword some. But I think the issue with
we'll
Dr.
say a
Umar
broken clock
Johnson
twice, a broken clock right twice a day.
But I think the issue is he trying to make some. He's trying to.
Yeah, like I'm gonna be honest. Like, I agree with you. I think a lot of it's similar to like most black power, because I don't think he's really black power. I think he's more African, like
He's an African
power.
panhellenic, like he's an Africanist. Like he's all about getting back to.
Yeah, Africa, the motherland. You know,
Yeah, bro.
Why are we over here? Let's, and like I'm cool with that too. But like the problem is, it's just like with the same way that racists generalize and make wide-span arguments for why black people are this and black people do that and why they're above black people in this certain way. I feel Dr. Umar Johnson and people of his similar beliefs and who go about it in such an extreme way kind of make a monolith of Africans and African Americans as well. It's like I am one a person who agrees that like the best way for African Americans and Africans in today's society to get what they deserve and get the protection they need, it is to congregate, as he would say, segregate ourselves. But you can't say that. You can't really do that. You know what I'm saying? But you could definitely legally segregate like different other groups Caucasians do when they gentrify areas, and continue to upbuild our communities in our own ways, or not own ways, but like in our own personal. What's that? Wait, pause. What am I trying to say? I'm saying that we could jumpstart our growth by just continuing just to focus on ourselves. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, me being a little bit more moderate in my opinions, I believe that not all Black Americans or African Americans need to do that to keep our progress going, for one, but also like think they need to do that, you know? And it's also like I don't think you can force people to do or live a certain way or either which way. I just feel like with the amount of vitriol he spews on other racial groups sometimes, and then also like I think he's not homophobic. Is he homophobic? I can't remember if he said some shit about like gay people or not. So let's not sit there. But even with that sense to go again, like there's some African Americans who aren't for gay people, and there's some who aren't. We're not monoliths, so it's hard to talk to people in a monolithic way and talk to them in such a condescending way, saying, "Why don't you see this? And why don't you see that? And why can't we do this? And if you don't contribute to my church, you're a fucking coon." It's like, no, bro. It's just
He want us to contribute to that school that he trying to build out here in Virginia.
Yeah, it's like, nigga, we're in the 21st century. Not everybody has the ability to just siphon money from followers for a school that hasn't even been started to be built.
I'm concerned with the school
gonna teach.
Yeah, bro. Like he got a PayPal link to it.
Because that's also the thing too. Like what
the heck? It said $9.99 to purchase. What am I purchasing, Dr. Umar Johnson?
You know how I feel about niggas who get their kids homeschooled. Dr. Umar Johnson ain't no different. Like, bro, you can go and teach them all the African history, all of the true history of our people who actually, there was more than just, one slave revolt, all that good shit. But be teaching them niggas arithmetic too, my nigga. Long division, algebra. Get them to read some of the quote unquote classics still. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you're going to be better educated on your own personal history and heritage does not mean you should go ignorant to like the learnings of other societies. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, fuck you? Yeah, I know you did, nigga. You took a hit of the E pill or some shit, nigga. What the fuck was that?
I was just...
Nigga just melted into the couch as if he was fucking what was that Tropical Thunder reference? A stack of butter or some hot flapjacks. You into this shit?
Oh, bro, I thought I was hearing stuff, but it's the people outside.
Yeah, nigga, like you were tripping the fuck out.
Oh, yeah, I was tripping.
Bro. Like, I'm like, yo,
hearing things?
Dog.
But then it was like, oh, there are people.
My nigga said, this is the age. I'm 26.
Yeah, bro.
Schizophrenia sets in.
Like, once I hit 30, I'll be like, Jesus, thank God.
Yeah, me too. I actually do that too. I actually like, yeah. But let's get back to the topic.
Nah, it's schizophrenia.
Dr. Umar Johnson.
God. What is Dr. Umar Johnson?
So where does he go from here? Because obviously there's not enough people who are just believing in him to like give him enough money to build. Because here's where I'm confused about the schools. He was saying he was going to build one school, right?
Is he trying to build more?
And then he said, and look, we got the opportunity to buy the school across the street as well. And that's going to be for the girls or whatever. And my thing is just like, where do you go? Where do you go from here? Like, how much more money do you need? What?
Bro,
like, I wish there was more concrete.
You get some books?
Evidence of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't probably send my kid to the school first year, but say the nigga actually is really about what he's about.
I think this man worth $1 million possibly.
And in 20 years, a lot of people worth $1 million, bro. I mean, shit. Like, his net worth $1 million, bro?
I wouldn't think it was worth $50,000. Where he getting his money from?
Nigga, loans? I don't know. It's what his book are maybe estimated. I don't fucking know, bro. But either way,
Oh, he be doing little lectures and everything.
either way, bro. Like what I need from Dr. Umar Johnson to become a believer.
Bro, they was talking about he might not even be a doctor, bro.
Okay, what I need from Dr. Umar Johnson is some real world evidence that the money is going to where it needs to go. You know? You feel me?
Yeah, I need to see some change.
It's like,
I like even.
Can
if
I see the deed to the land of the school? Like, can I see a bank account?
Even if it started off.
Can I see a pay slip, nigga?
Even if it started off with like, oh, I'm doing a summer camp, I would have took that. Like, all right, I see kids in a summer camp. That
makes way more sense.
You want to start off straight with a school.
I get how you gonna feed? It's just a lot. It's a lot. So
how you gonna feed them? How you gonna clothe them? Like you ain't told me about what type of teachers you gonna get.
How much longer do you think people are gonna keep giving him a platform?
Hotel Central, bro.
I mean, if like places like the Breakfast Club, they break up. I don't know what the fuck Hot 97 doing, but he's not on. He's not on other. Really, he's just on the Breakfast Club. Like where else has he been on? He hasn't been on Big Boy. He hasn't been on Angie Martinez.
Would you give him a platform?
I mean, right now we don't have a platform, so yeah. If Dr. Umar Johnson wants to come onto the podcast and bring his Hotep friends, we would love to talk to you.
Listen to him, bro.
Yeah, shit. I'll let you go off. Go the fuck off.
I want to know what religion he identifies.
We just gotta make sure we have AB here to help us back up, because I'm gonna like try to combat some of the shit, but he's very quick.
Yeah, I wonder what religion.
He's like Ben Shapiro, but for black people.
Yeah, I wonder if he's a Muslim, if he identifies as like Christian. Definitely not Christian.
Definitely not Christian. Definitely no white Jesus. That's for sure.
God. I don't blame people for not wanting to identify with white Jesus. I want your savior to be your oppressor.
Me too. Yeah, I ain't bound to no God that whipped my fucking ancestors and said that shit was okay. What?
Do you believe your ancestors were slaves? Or do you believe maybe they were like...
Some of them. Not all of my ancestors, but some of them. I am a child of the diaspora. There's a reason why I do not know what my heritage is.
Yeah, I'll just be thinking...
Same with you, nigga. There's a reason why you light-skinned, nigga.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe?
There's some light-skinned people in Africa.
Devonte.
Hey, bro. Maybe some Italian in my blood somewhere.
This is all right, bro. All right, bro. If you black, you not African. You black and you light skinned. You trying to figure out where that light skin portion came from. You better go look down one of your grandmothers or one of your grandfathers that wasn't.
I think my kids.
Honestly, look at the grandmother.
I think my kids are gonna be light.
Yeah, because if you continue with who you have, your kids are gonna be half quarter or halfway. That's how it works, halfway. Someone I talked to asked me how...
Possibly. They'll have a lot of white in them.
Yeah.
More than I do.
I would like my kids to be the same shade as me. Like, who said it? Khloe Kardashian? I want my kids to match. That was so fucking tasteless. I don't care, but... anytime you have kids, you got a blonde-haired kid, bro. No, you really can't. There's a whole way you test that. It's recessive genes.
I learned that the other week.
Yeah, like, what are you talking about? If your kid comes out with blonde hair, Devonte, I would be questioning shit.
It's a strong possibility.
Like, honestly, like, if I was Drake, I would definitely get that kid tested. But I see how it could
because his mother was blonde hair.
Yeah. But, like, I would still blood test that shit. I'm sure Aubrey has.
Yeah, he definitely did. All that money he's gonna lose. Especially, bro, you rather do it on yourself than go to a paternity suit. Paternity suit involves lawyers, litigation. I'd rather just go do a medical. You can gotta let a doctor do it. Just go to a damn testing center.
Either way, we got anything else to say about Dr. Umar Johnson?
Dr. Umar Johnson.
I thought you was gonna go in on this nigga.
Bro, I mean, for me, mainly, I enjoy his like content on social media because I know right now he's just trolling. He's literally just trolling because there's like a community of people that are like.
So you think his IG lives where he's telling this is African people? You think he's joking?
Yes.
Okay. See, I had the opposite.
No. I think he's trolling. I think at first he was like, "Oh, I hate white people," but now I think like he's like, "We're just gonna get more attention to my school." So yeah, I'm gonna keep doing stuff.
See, I still looking at it as he's doing it all in the vein of being slightly crazy. You know, where it's like, yes, you're right. There are white people out there, slavery, Jim Crow, segregation, motherfucking, what's the most police brutality, all this shit, right? It's all real. Yes, black people are being hunted at different times. Yes, but are we in a better space than we were previously? Yes. Now, why do I say that? That's to say you should not get yourself into a state of psychosis and panic where you think literally the government is out to get you specifically, and every white person out there is trying to harm you specifically. That's not the case. And I feel like when Dr. Umar Johnson goes on these rants, he is looking like an individual who believes these things. And to me, I'm looking at it like, oh, this motherfucker's kind of crazy. Like, he kind of believes all this shit. So you think he's trolling in like the vein of like Tekashi 6ix9ine, where he knows, snitching.
I also think I think like it's 50-50. I think he's not all there, but I think he knows this is giving him a little clout.
Okay.
If you believe Dr. Umar's all there, you may be off the deep end yourself.
So on a scale of like
0 being insane, 10 being absolutely out of your mind.
No, zero being I would trust this man to watch my kid. To 10 being he needs to go inpatient somewhere for 2 weeks. Where did you rate his normalcy?
5. It's about 50-50 to me. Like, maybe you could watch my kid for 2 hours.
So the fact that he's not telling us why, like when he brought the video where he said he read the comment, why is the nigga always in the car? Like, where's the house? And he didn't have a response. It was like it wasn't like because like a nigga like him, if he was living grandiosely or Pan African, y'all got a house, bitch. Since we haven't seen that yet, I'm gonna go ahead and rate it a 7. Okay. A 7. Because for all we know, the nigga could be looking like Orlando Brown in 10 years. You see that nigga on the side of the road with a suitcase, bro? Orlando Brown is officially homeless.
Oh, wait. But the friend kicked him out?
Yeah, but
either way. I'm saying Michael Jackson, his daddy.
Yeah, but either way.
He needs help.
But either way. Dr. Umar Johnson is... I'm rooting for him. Don't get me wrong. I'm rooting for everybody black. Especially if it's going to help black people. I'm not sending...
I'm not rooting for everybody, but I'm rooting for majority. Some black people need to sit down.
Yeah, Ben Carson. Go back to sleep.
I ain't rooting for
Ben Carson. I'm not rooting for Ben Carson. You rooting for Ben Carson?
I ain't rooting for some.
Ben Carson will call you a nigger to your face and not understand the irony in it.
I watched the Ben Carson movie as a kid that had Cuba Gooding Jr. playing Ben Carson. Bro, I ain't rooting for Cuba Gooding Jr. right now. That nigga.
Somebody suck that baby's dick!
Yo, what was he on, bro?
Probably an amphetamine.
How many drinks he had?
Damn, bro, this cat, bro, what the fuck you kidding me for, nigga? What the fuck is wrong with you?
You know, he mocking.
Nigga say, yo, chill, fam. But yeah,
I'm just doing him.
I'm not necessarily voting against Dr. Umar Johnson. I just want Dr. Umar Johnson to have more concrete proof that he is doing what he's saying.
You're not necessarily voting.
Because no, I'm not necessarily. Yeah, you're right. And I'm not exactly endorsing Dr. Umar Johnson either. I'm simply saying, hey, he's a candidate that's on the board. I'm recognizing Dr. Umar Johnson as an actual candidate that's going to help better change the black community, or it's going to help take the black community to the next level. Let's not say we need to change, because we're kings and queens in our own right as we are now. But that's an hour, dog. Damn, this shit's getting good. Damn, we're getting good at this shit. We should get a health topic in, though, real quick.
I know about that.
Yeah, sit down real quick.
That's why let me stand up.
I don't think you're talking to the mic anymore.
Oh, yeah. I was just feeling drowsy. I've been up for a while.
We were talking about something earlier. Off topic. What was it?
I was talking about one of my client's parents.
Yes. Okay. So this health topic is going to be a story of work from Devonte, and I think it's going to go into mental health.
So just make sure you're taking care of yourself. So like,
So tell the story.
basically, I have a client and she's struggling with her parents divorcing, but her dad is not taking it well.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like not happy. Obviously, he's getting a divorce, but he owns weapons.
Mm-hmm.
So he got upset and decided he was going to try to kill himself in front of his family, and they had to talk him out.
You were there?
No, this was recent. I can't go out and see them. So this was the hearsay. So it was wild. They said they got in an argument. He goes and grabs his service pistol.
What you don't see is Devonte making brandishing movements with a fake gun to his head, to the sky, to the ceiling.
Yeah, so they were saying he's doing all that. So then
I'm in this bitch. I'm gonna kill this bitch. I'm gonna kill myself too.
So the best thing I told his.
What advice did you give? Yeah. I know.
Well,
before you answer, just remember this was recorded, so you might want to lie if you did not do the right thing.
Oh no! I stated to ask, she had said that he's moving out, and I was like, he may need to move out sooner than expected. But I also discussed that the day he moves out, and he's not coming, like he's got most of his stuff, like the stuff he needs for the time being. I've changed locks. Because any person willing to do it to themselves, he could be on the edge of doing it to you and then finish, doing it to you.
Murder suicide.
Yeah, murder suicide. So I said, do that. I said, take proper precaution with if you feel like you need to file a restraining order to do those things because you protect yourself. Protect yourself.
Yeah. I know there's been a couple of hotlines that have been introduced that are specifically dedicated towards helping people who are being forced to live with an abuser during this quarantine and to get them a safe place. But that's actually pretty, yeah, man.
I think it's
suicidal, homicidal.
Yeah, I think it's tough. And then I think the whole topic could just be if you're feeling suicidal, there are hotlines. Please use the hotline.
Nigga, use the hotline, or just if you think you need to just see somebody, like go to the emergency department. I've had instances where literally we had a man come in or a patient come in, and literally they were in the back of their mother's car. And they slit their wrists, and they were like, "Yeah, I need to just. I've done this before. I need to be in here." Like he literally just done it, and it was like patched him up. And by the time we patched him up, he was like, I think I kind of just go home. Like I think I'm good." And it's like, no. So, but that's the beauty of coming to the emergency department versus calling real quick. If you call, you say whatever.
The thing about the suicide hotline, I will say, they'll try to talk you out of it. Talk you down, make a plan for you. But like you said, you go to the emergency room and you got a plan. You talking. Hey, buddy, I'm gonna let you know you're staying with us for a little bit.
Yeah.
You're not coming home.
We'll TDO you, and it's one of those things too where just know. And actually like to take it on a broader mental health standpoint. There was a individual that I met through another individual, like an acquaintance of an acquaintance. Mm-hmm. She posted one of her friends who recently just revealed a story online, which I'm still kind of like, I don't know if you should do this or not. But she basically said that she checked herself into a psych ward at the beginning of the year because she was having a lot of depressive thoughts and suicidal ideations. And she's the better for it, she was basically saying. And that's the thing I kind of wanted to just remind or inform people of is that if you do go get checked in inpatient, legally, nobody can tell you you're there. And your job can't do shit about it. Like your job can call the psych facility and we can be like, I can't give you any of that.
I can't confirm this person is here or there.
Yeah, and when you get out, they can't fire you for doing that. Like that's what sick days are for. That's what actual emergencies are for. and especially if it has nothing to do with your job performance, or if it's not indicative of your job performance.
One of my roommates, former girlfriends, she started missing a lot of days. She worked for Geico. And Geico actually shipped her. Like they must be really good company to work for. They put her in inpatient and like basically told her that take time, and when you get back,
what type of Geico job does she have?
In the office.
Yeah.
So that it was and then she went and got a psyche eval and
mental health
she was
becoming more respected.
I didn't even know.
Actual
I had interacted with, and it's so crazy because you never know. I had interacted with this woman for months, and then she was like, "Yeah, me and her had a because she was 10 years older than me. She always looked at me like a little brother, and she was just like, I'm bipolar and I'm manic, and like she said, the job started to realize I was manic because she said one day so she was driving to work. And she said, "Oh, I'm gonna just not stop driving," and like drove to another state.
Holy shit! Yeah, that's wild. Yeah,
and then she says her mania comes out in sex. Like she was like telling me she may be a sex addict in some ways. So I was like,
yeah.
But like when she told me I got in the car and just started driving.
Yeah, that should have been like, hey friend, let's go talk to somebody.
She said, I didn't have a plan. She said, I was supposed to go to work, but I just kept driving. And she said, well, I knew I needed help.
Yeah, man, it's tough. It's tough. It's definitely tough out there. And you're not weak for, like, realizing it's tough. A little tougher than you can handle. Yeah, not weak, not alone. Because everybody, regardless of who you are, like, you go through a mental health episode, a mental health difficulty, even if you're not able to recognize it, man. That time that you just cry unexpectedly, you don't know why. If you're a man, you don't cry, and it comes out the other way in anger, and you just don't know why you get so fucking angry. And at the worst part, you see red. Not even want to kill somebody, but you just do crazy shit. If you're a nurse and you're yelling at a patient, you're yelling at a doctor, you yelling at anybody at work, nigga.
Yelling at yourself.
Yeah.
Going in the bathroom,
smacking screens. You know what I'm saying? If you're the type of person who gets so much road rage that it scares other people who ride in the car with you, like that's mental health, my G. And there's nothing wrong with it. You just have to recognize what it is, and then like anything else in your life, work to make it manageable or better. Like your mind is just like any other muscle. You got to work it out. You spend all this money to make sure you can get a doctor to heal your soul, heal your body. You need to make sure you get a doctor to heal your emotional, heal your mind, bro. Yeah, so I guess that's it. We'll keep it short and sweet because I don't think we need to go much more into that. Content of the week. I'll keep it short and simple. I'm reading Vinland Saga. It is a manga that had an anime adaptation last year. It was on Amazon Prime. It was very, very good, and it got me interested to read it because I haven't, or the second season's not gonna come out for a couple of years, and just as good, engaging. It's a loosely based fiction, so it's like about the Nordic period and like the Vikings and all that. So it's pretty cool. Gory, and also into like mental health stuff. But you go ahead.
I'm gonna watch. I'm watching the Ozarks as you walked in, so I need to finish that tomorrow. Hopefully, watch maybe one more episode tonight, and then I'm gonna watch that old World War II miniseries called Band of Brothers. I never saw it, but I only heard good things about it, so it's like watch that stuff. And just get some more, just more reading in.
Hell yeah. All right. Bullshit for Your Health Podcast, episode 33. We're cranking this shit out, guys. Hope you guys have a good week. We'll have some more information on stimulus checks for you coming up. Peace out.